Happy Father's Day. What a wonderful day. Got some scripture today about Father's Day, and I've been thinking about it. And how excited is that? 2 Chronicles of the Kings of Israel, chapter 18, verse 7. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, There is yet one man, but whom we may inquire of the Lord. But I hate him, for he never prophesies good unto me, but always evil, the same as Micaiah the son of Imlah. And Jehoshaphat said, Let not the king say so. Well, today's Father's Day, and it's a wonderful life. Everybody had a wonderful life with fathers, and our nation is doing great. Yet our daughters have had many partners. It seems that when they marry, they always tend to settle. In some of the cases, they're thrown out into the community without any guidance or protection of these great fathers, right? Their sons are not the most responsible in the community. Druggies, man whores, homos, sociopaths, paranoid, psychopaths, prostate worshippers, of which I've met many. Men and women are living different lives, where the man is lord of his castle and the woman is his slave. Happy Father's Day. I'm sure you can figure this out if you apply yourself. Men do the guy thing, which is another word for Women Haters Club, known as the Boys Club, society, fraternities, company, sports, etc. Sure, you may have forgiven the lawless one. And let's not get carried away with the I am worshiper image. A fact. We all know that when children are raised, we tend to raise them the way that we were raised. So that's clues to us, if we want to see them. And so exactly where are these God-fearing people? For years I knew my mother had some issues, and there was a great evil lurking under the radar, which was the goodness of my father. He was a good guy. People loved him. I mean, he was a man of the community. He worked really hard. He rallied all the Puerto Ricans to him. He was a good guy. But yet he was an alcoholic. Yet he lacked communication skills. Yet he did not fear God. So, but he's a good guy, right? And in his day of Father's Day, we needed to recognize this was his day. As a matter of fact, I remember one story where my dad and my uncle were in Hartford, and they did a radio show. That day, my dad hit a kid on a mini bike. And it was Father's Day because I remember my mother gave him a fifth. He drank the fifth and got behind the wheel. And then I happened to be with him because my mom said, "Oh, he's not doing too good, so you need to go ahead and go with him." I went with him, and he hit his Camaro, and he actually damaged the vehicle because he was driving drunk. But he's a good guy. Happy Father's Day. Other things I had to consider today was basically his cowardice, in that he did not redeem my mother. Because, see, men can redeem a woman if they want to. I don't care how bad and vile the woman is. If a man is following what the Lord tells him to do, he can redeem her if he wants to, because she is his heart. So, anyways, but we're having a great Father's Day, right? You know, today, maybe tolerate I don't know if I can use that kind of language, but, you know, tolerate the S space B, you know, go ahead and tolerate him for a while. As a matter of fact, you might have even moved really far from him because you can't stand him. Maybe you moved across the country or somewhere else, and you send him a little card or give him a little phone call, and everything's wonderful because it's Happy Father's Day. Anyways, who came up with that anyways? Something else that I was pondering upon is that when the Pharisees crucified Jesus, They said, let the blood of this man be upon us and our children. A curse? Wait a minute. Be the blood of Jesus upon us and our children? They curse their children from generation to generation. What kind of fathers are those? Sure, I love my father and my uncle, but they were godless in the name of God. The proof is in the bearers of the curse. Those that carry the curse bear the testimony of who they were. But nobody wants to question that. I mean, we dare not talk about these things, you know. Let's not talk about these family secrets. Yeah, but you know what? It's really clear in the scripture that the Lord knows all things, so there are no secrets. I actually do sorrow for the poor choices that have snowballed into the other generation of cursed children, because that's the reality of it. And we have a choice whether we're going to allow it to continue or if we're going to stop the curse. The choice is ours. I want to stop the curse. I've done the work to make sure that my curse in my line of the family is stopped. Is right there. Right there. There's Hannah. I'm not going to throw her out. No. And I'm not going to let her, make stupid mistakes. I'm going to give her information. I'm going to support Joanne. We're going to come together as a united front. The two will be as one. I'm going to come together as one with my wife as I'm dealing with my kids. And there's not going to be any secrets. Zero. And there's not going to be a double life. So, as I read this about the repenting and turning to God in spirit and to love Him and serve Him in spirit and in truth to break the family curses, Joanne was reading this passage. Now, what is the law of probability that I talked about the curse of our family, the fact that the men died early? My dad died at 33. Early. My uncle died early. My other uncle died early. Hello? 3 of them. There's still one left and he's on the island, but there's 3 that are dead early. Now, this is the scripture, especially dedicated to my family that would like me not to talk about these things. Dedicated to you, Inez, okay? So here you go. Prophet Isaiah, chapters 65, verse 20, going forward. Never again will her infants live just a few days, or the old man die before his time. Indeed, no one will die before the age of 100. Anyone who fails to reach the age of 100 will be considered cursed. They will build houses and live in them. They will plant vineyards and eat their fruit. No longer will they build a house only to have another live in it, or plant a vineyard only to have another eat its fruit. And that has happened. Somebody's living in the original house, and all the labor is given to somebody else. And the kids are spread out all over the place. And it continues to say, or read, it says, for my people will live as long as trees, which has not been the case in our family. And if I used to have a premonition that I would die at 33. Well, I've been celebrating my birthday. I'm 53, 20 years later. And I was so happy that I went beyond the cursed concept of dying at 33. Because I had a premonition. They will no longer work in vain or give birth to children that will experience disaster, for the Lord will bless their children and their descendants. Before they call out, I will respond. While they are still speaking, I will hear. And that's the blessing of the Lord. And so my father did die a slow death in cancer, so I do believe he did have an opportunity to repent, provided that he wasn't in bitterness, because that's where people hang out. They hang out in bitterness. And as I read the scripture, I realized how many people are cursed. People are cursed all around us, and we don't want to accept that. So I close this statement, which I did post on Facebook, and this is the last statement according to the Bible. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, did I not tell you that he would not prophesy good unto me, but evil? So consider yourself warned, repent. Happy Father's Day. Think about it.